Hey there, YouTubers. Right, so in this video, we're going to compare one of my favorite B660Ms. This is the Aorus B660M Pro AX DDR4 to one of the new ones that I just got, and I happen to think this is a great value, the Asus Prime B660M-A AC D4. Now, if you know those titles, you know basically, boom, D4, DDR4, they're one and the same. AX, AC, both of these have Wi-Fi, all right? What do you see when you look at these right away? Well, boom, I think this big old heatsink over here sticks out. In fact, this has one over here. This one doesn't, and it's got an itty-bitty dinky one. Makes you, at least in my book, feel more comfortable putting an i7, i9 lock CPU on this one. Over here, yeah, i5 12400, 12500, 12600 is good. Maybe the i7 12700. Wouldn't really recommend that one for the i9 12900. And I would stay away from most of the unlocked CPUs, excuse me, on this one. Over here, of course, you won't be able to overclock with a unlocked CPU on this motherboard, but this one is, a good alternative in case you don't want to spend the money on a Z690. Of course, if you spend this much money on a Z690, you could just, if you spend this much on a B660M, you could pretty much just buy a Z690 for the same price, right? So, other things that jump out, hey, 4 RAM slots, right? Very similar. Pretty much the same RAM speeds. Things that really jump out beyond that, 2 PCIe expansion card slots. And look at this, 4 on a micro ATX motherboard. That is a little ridiculous in my opinion, folks. Putting one RTX 3090 on this motherboard is going to take out at least 3 of these, maybe 4 of them. So that, doesn't really gain you a lot. Where this might gain you is if you're going to use integrated graphics. You could use not only the 2 M.2s here, but add 4 additional PCIe expansion cards that have M.2s for a total of 6. Now, I haven't actually tried to see if that works yet because I don't have that many, but that would be pretty cool as far as storage goes right there. Over here, 2 PCIe expansion slots. These are PCIe 4.0, both of them. Over here, you only have the 1, and then 3 PCIe 3.0 by 16, right? M.2 wise, 2 spots on this motherboard. So storage wise, pretty much the same, though you have more capability over here if you're into M.2s, as well as SATA, right? So I don't know if you see this, 2 SATA connectors here. There are actually 4. Let me move this out of the way. There are 4 here and 2 there. To be honest with you, out of the motherboards I've gotten, only the Z690s that I've had have had more, where I had one that had 8. 4 over here, maybe not a big deal. Honestly, for me, I hate hard drives. I hate even SATA SSDs. Too many issues and too many failures with those. So I happen to think, folks, this one on the left is the ultimate for flexibility with a computer case. Now, if you have your mind set up on a case and you really don't care about what the motherboard looks like, this guy has all the flexibility you would ever want. It's got 2 USB 3.0 headers. What does that mean? If your case has 4 USB 3.0s on it, you're set. On this computer, or motherboard, excuse me, you've only got 1. So you're only going to get to use 2 of your USB 3.0s if you have that. Both of these have Type-C Charlie connectors. There's 2 on this one, okay? That is freaking amazing. I think it's the only motherboard I've gotten, and I've gotten a lot of motherboards. I mean, if you guys seen the channel, we have gotten a lot of motherboards on this channel. 2 compared with 1. Now, honestly, I think 1 is all you need. Maybe there's an adapter to do something else with that, but wow. Both have 2 USB 2.0s, which is great. So if your case obviously has USB 3.0 and 2.0s on it, you're good here with this dual header. This also allows you folks, to add a Wi-Fi card via USB, right? So if your Wi-Fi were to crap out, you would have that capability to add that view via USB 2.0, assuming the card doesn't overheat from being in this slot. I have had some that have had issues with that. So um, obviously we talked, they both have Wi-Fi, right? Another thing that I like over here, we're just going to keep jumping around. This has the built-in I/O shield. You know, if you see the channel, I love this. I don't like screwing around with having an I/O shield, putting it in the case. This one does not have it. To me, that is worth about $20 to not screw with that. All right, CPU-wise, both of these are going to support all of the 12th gen CPUs out there. You may find with the i9-12900KS that you need a BIOS update, and very soon, folks, 13th gen will be out, and you will get that same kind of usage out of these motherboards. Who knows between this and the next gen motherboards what we will miss out on, but for the most part, you know, these should support 13th gen. So other nice things about the right, if you care about, you know, protecting your pins a little more, Aorus does that over here. You can see that you have plastic hardened enclosure around this. You don't get that with the Asus. They are definitely out there to possibly get bent. Not to say you can't bend them when you know start making your connections. I may have screwed up a few things in my day. What else, folks? You know, interesting CMOS battery here. Where in the hell is it on this computer? Let me find it first, folks, because that is interesting. I don't see it. So here is the CMOS battery. I really hate these, to be honest with you. I don't know if you've ever pulled one of these out to replace. I have, you know, maybe I did it wrong in the past. ITX motherboard, but I busted up this this connection. So you may be able to get that off. And if somebody out there has done this, you know, maybe make a comment. But this guy, you know, if you have to pull that thing completely out, you may damage it, which I've done. So I don't really like that, but it does obviously save space, right? So, you know, in the end, that might not be such a big deal. CPU power connector, this only has a 1x8 over here. You get a 1x8 and a 1x4. Does that really matter? Depends on the CPU. And, you know, if you've seen my video there, installing the i9-12900 into a Z690 that had two 1x8s, setting up power limits to unlimited. Did that really matter? Hey, go check out the video and find out. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. All right. So we have covered most of the stuff on here that, you know, really stands out. Obviously, this looks like a better quality motherboard in a lot of aspects. This has a lot of great features, right? So great features, quality, right? Quality versus quantity, maybe you could say in this example. Let's go ahead and flip these around so we can see what we have for audio-video connections. So, folks, you know, integrated graphics over here, you're doing pretty good with 2 HDMI and 1 DisplayPort. So you could run 3 monitors off that, off something like my i9-12900. Over here, DisplayPort and HDMI. Both of these have 4 USB 2.0s, okay? This has USB 3.2 Gen 2s, where over here it appears we have 4 USB 3.2 Gen 1s. Does that really matter? Questionable. Ethernet. I don't know anybody that this matters with. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there, but 2.5 to 1. You know, here at the house, I don't really have these things networked together. And my internet, even though it's 1 gig, doesn't really matter. No. So, but there are people out there that will tell me this matters. So, and some people get the 10 gig instead of 2.5. Pretty much the same, mic and headphone up here. And then this one, folks, has fiber optic, which is really nice because guess what? You can hook this up to the good old surround system and really impress your friends when you're gaming. Now, other than that, PS2, old PS2 style connector. Some of you might need that. I haven't needed that in, I think, 20 years. So I really don't care for it. And then this has the other kind of line out. So that's pretty much it, folks. We're not going to talk about the other crap that was in the box because, to be honest with you, that, isn't worth comparing. But I got to say, folks, if I had a choice, I'd probably meet right in the middle with the Gaming X instead of paying the extra to get up here. This has a lot of great features, but some of these features, are things that I really don't need. Like I said, I don't know that I'm ever going to need 2 Type-C Charlie connectors. I love having 4 expansion slots, but man, I put a graphics card in there, I'm never going to get to use that, right? Let me grab a graphics card. All right, so we reoriented this. Here's a 3080 Ti, all right? Look at that. You guys see that? Anything I put on there is going to block the fans, and it's right up against it. So, to be honest with you, I'm going to lose 2 of these just to put a good graphics card in there that I want to use. So that really doesn't benefit me. The SATAs, I don't need these because even though I've probably got 20 hard drives and 2.5-inch solid-state drives, I really, don't like using them. I'd rather have more M.2s, which we could do that over here. Now, where the benefits were for the case, the USB 3.0 headers, I do have cases out there where this one would, let me down because I only have one USB 3.0. But, yeah, other than that, I like the flexibility that I can, have a better CPU on here. Not to say those other CPUs won't work on here. I've yet to put my i9-12900 in there and see if I would have any issues. But from what I've seen from some of the other motherboards, the ones that are stocked up like this, I did not have any issues with thermal limits, power limits, or the current limit throttling. So those 3 things, not an issue usually with the better built boards. Hey, thanks for checking out the video. Hope you got something out of it. Hopefully, my the slight cold that I've had didn't bother you guys too much. And thanks for checking out the video. Please like, please subscribe. Thank you.